I don't think this is a good idea, Ragnar. What if he gets hurt or killed? There's no guarantee that he'll be safe here.
For Odin's sake, Lagertha, we've talked about this a million times. I know you love our boy, I do too. But we are both certain that Bjorn will die at the hand of our enemies if we don't hide him here. Besides, we'll always watch and keep him safe wherever he is.
Until we're dead, that is.
Lagertha spat back, but Ragnar simply hugged her tight and got into the spaceship. Reluctantly, Lagertha followed him into the spaceship and shed tears as they flew out of Earth to finish the war on their planet, leaving behind their newborn son and only child, Bjorn. Ever wondered what it's like to live among aliens on a planet that's not yours? Well, that's exactly what my life was. Sit back, relax, and keep watching to hear my amazing story. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you ever want to gain superpowers.
I can't believe you're making me do this. We're not young anymore, Martha.
But do you regret coming out?
Martha asked as she lay on her husband's chest on a mat under the skies.
Absolutely not. These beautiful stars remind me of my beautiful wife.
Martha laughed.
You animal.
Her husband always knew how to make her blush. Suddenly, a heavy rain began. It didn't even drizzle. It just came down with full force and got them soaked immediately. As they tried to pack up and run inside, they heard a baby crying in the distance. Mark tried to stop Martha, but she ran and picked the baby up with all his belongings, and they all entered the house. That baby was me, Matthew. After pondering over what to do with me and cursing whoever left a newborn under the rain, Mark and Matthew decided to adopt me since they couldn't have a child of their own. They gave me the name Matthew. I grew up like any normal child. I never knew I was different, and my parents never told me. Things started to change when I turned 16, though. We were having a lecture, but I wasn't listening. The teacher noticed this and decided to embarrass me by asking me a simple question. I wasn't listening, so I didn't even understand what he was talking about.
I can't be struggling to teach while students just choose not to listen to me. Why don't you excuse us, Matthew?
As I picked up my bag and packed up my books, I angrily replied, "Well, why don't you go jump from a window?" While looking straight into the teacher's eyes to make him understand that I wasn't scared of him. Suddenly, our teacher went straight to the window and opened it. He looked scared out of his mind, but he just kept moving. It was almost like he didn't want to do it, but had to. The class started panicking, screaming, and running around when he climbed up the window and was about to jump. Everyone was begging him to come down, but he didn't listen. He just stood there, dazed. As he was about to leap off the window, two teachers ran in and forcefully grabbed him, dragging him back into the class. The teacher started shouting,
"Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!"
over and over again, like he had just snapped out of a spell. I freaked out and went back home, pretending to be sick when my parents asked why I was home. Mom decided to make me a special vegetable soup to make me feel better. After preparing it, she invited me to the dining table and gave me the soup. I tasted it, but didn't like it, so I complained. Mom came close to me trying to feed me the soup, telling me that it would make me feel better. But I knew that I wasn't sick, so there was no need to take the horrible soup. "Mom, you know what would make me feel better? Pancakes. Please, could you make me some pancakes?" I said while looking into her eyes and giving her the puppy dog face.
Ha 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 ha!
Dad laughed, and I laughed along with him. We both knew that Mom wasn't going to make me any pancakes. She was a devoted health nut and made sure we ate only healthy food, and pancakes, according to her, were not one of them. My mom left without a word, got into her car, and drove off.
That's weird.
Dad and I said in unison.
She didn't even tell us where she was going.
A few minutes later, she came back with supplies: flour, milk, eggs, sugar, and more. Everything we needed to make pancakes. I was squealing happily, but Dad knew something was off. He didn't say anything, though. He just quietly observed. When the three of us were done devouring the delicious pancakes, Mom suddenly acted like she'd snapped out of a trance.
You guys made pancakes in my house?
Nope. You made pancakes for us in your house.
What? And you ate them?
This was when I realized that I'd done something to my mother, just like I'd done with the teacher back in school. I felt disappointed in myself, so I quickly ran into my room. My parents followed me and sat beside me on my bed.
Sweetheart, tell us what really happened in school today.
I confessed and told them everything while they shared a knowing look between each other. Why are you guys looking at each other like that? What are you not telling me? Why can I do all these things?
We always knew you were special, my boy. When we saw the container you were in as a baby and the personal items you were left with, we knew that you weren't of this world.
I don't understand.
Let us explain.
And they explained how they found me. I felt hurt and betrayed, realizing that the people I thought were my real parents all these years actually weren't. I told them to leave me alone in my room, and they obliged. My parents advised me to only use my powers for good and not to control people unnecessarily. They told me that they could only advise me, but everything else was up to me. They weren't going to stop me from being free. I decided to use my powers for only good, just like my parents had advised. I set up a behavioral class to help people become the best version of themselves, and it was free for all of my schoolmates. I became kind of a mini therapist because I realized that over time, I could also read people's minds, but only if they let me in and surrender all freedom to me, kind of like hypnotherapy. Through this, I was able to reach out to bullies, heal their insecurities, and make them better people. I convinced people to work harder and make better grades, and I made the lives of so many students better. When word got out about how successful my classes were, adults started reaching out, saying they wanted me to help them solve their problems. I decided to charge them huge amounts of money, and they were all willing to pay. When I told my parents about this, they happily gave me the go-ahead, and suddenly, I was bringing in so much money, and it changed our lives for the better. On one particular occasion, I was trying to get through to a new client, but he refused to let me in. I asked him why he came to me for help, and he didn't want my help. We'd had 5 sessions already, but there'd been no progress. I could have continued with the charade and just kept collecting money for every new session, but I wanted to help, so I used my powers to make him talk. Who are you? Why are you here, and what do you need my help with? Tell me everything, I said while looking straight into his eyes. The man started talking. He told me that he was part of a secret organization that hunted down people who had special powers, testing everything about them in a lab until they're able to come up with a serum that they can use to make soldiers with the same or even better powers than the original person had. He came because his son, a classmate of mine, told him that there was something different about me. He didn't need my help. He just needed me to slip up and show him my powers so he could take me away. He snapped out of the trance immediately after he said all this and tried to call for backup, but I stopped him. Stop. Sit tight right here for 24 hours. Do not move, no matter what. Do you understand? He nodded. I quickly drove home and told my parents what I had encountered. We packed up a few things, got into the car, and started moving. We drove as fast as we could, heading to the airport, but we were suddenly surrounded. That man had managed to free himself from the state I put him in, and he was standing right in front of us. They forced us all to get out of the car. I tried using my powers on the soldiers, but they were wearing glasses that stopped me from seeing their eyes.
This is very simple, Matthew, or whatever your real name is. Get into my car.
The impending danger caused a new power of mine to come bubbling to the surface. I was raising cars with my mind and about to send them raining down on the evil man when he and a colleague of his put guns to my parents' head.
Make any sudden move and I'll shoot.
As I got distracted, the cars fell and I heard a huge bang on my head, making me pass out. I woke up in a strange place. My hands, legs, and stomach were suspended with metal bars, and my eyes were covered. I was lying down. I tried using my telekinesis to remove the things covering my eyes, but I couldn't, and I noticed that it was because of the metal bars that covered my whole hands. I heard that strange voice again.
Bjorn, you're awake. So sorry for the inconvenience.
Spare me the lies, please.
How rude of me, I never introduced myself properly. My real name is Ube. Nice to meet you.
What kind of stupid name is Oob? Were your parents stupid too? Oob laughed.
On the contrary, the name Ube is a lot more special than yours.
I don't think anyone would prefer the name Oob over Matthew.
Not Matthew. Your real name is Bjorn.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you release me so we can have a more civilized conversation?
I definitely will when we're done.
Done with what? Where are my parents?
You mean your kidnappers? They're safe in my dungeon.
I swear to God, if anything happens to them, I'll mess you up.
Yeah, right.
He laughed.
You won't.
I could feel him coming close to me, and next thing, a needle was in my heart. He was releasing a liquid into my chest, and it hurt like hell. I tried struggling, but it was all to no avail.
There, almost done.
Suddenly, there was a loud bang, and something huge hit the wall and came in. Unfortunately, I couldn't see it. I heard 2 footsteps and 2 people walked down from it. Was it the cops? Could it be my parents, I thought?
Hello, Uba.
A deep, masculine voice said.
Aren't you tired of losing already? Why aren't you dead? How did you survive?
I didn't understand what was going on. That was definitely not my dad's voice, and that man couldn't be a cop either.
I came for my last mission, to get rid of the son you chose over me.
Son? Who, me? I wondered. Could this be my real father?
You choose your fate, my son. And now, I'm going to choose his as well.
A fight ensued, and in the process, whatever that was covering my face was removed. I saw what had previously crashed into the building, and it was a weird-looking spaceship. A woman smiled down at me and removed all the metal holdings, and by moving her fingers, she absorbed the liquid in my heart and poured it on the floor. Then, she held me, and we teleported into the spaceship where I met my parents. Mom, Dad, you're okay, I screamed and hugged them tightly. The woman that saved me looked disappointed.
We're so happy you're okay.
They hugged back.
These are your real parents.
I turned and was shocked to discover that the woman that had saved me and the man battling with Oob outside the spaceship were my parents.
I'm sorry, Bjorn. We'll explain everything once we get home, but for now, I can give you a recap. Uba was born without any power, and it made him jealous and eventually turned him evil. He tried killing you and destroying the planet, but we were able to hide you on Earth without his knowledge, and we've been fighting him and his minions ever since.
My real dad entered the spaceship holding Oob like a chicken. He locked him in a cage that electrocuted him every time he moved, so he had to stay very still.
It took us many years, but we were able to defeat him and the revolution and save the planet. In our last scuffle, he figured out that you were still alive and on Earth, so he came to find you, take your powers, and kill you. Unfortunately, he has failed and will be locked up for the rest of his life.
My real mother came close to me and knelt.
We're sorry that you had to go through this because of your brother.
Wait a minute, I interrupted her. This demon, Oob, is my brother?
Yes.
My mom laughed.
Well, we've disowned him for his evil ways, so he can't be king anymore. You will be the one to take over the throne.
Me? A king?
Yes, my love.
My mom patted my head.
I hate you all! I will kill you all!
Oob screamed but got electrocuted and knocked out by the cage he was in.
We've been watching you all your life, and we're grateful to this magnificent couple that took care of you. They will live with us in our palace and be rewarded for the rest of their lives, unless they want to go back to Earth.
Definitely not.
Mark and Martha chorused. We all burst into laughter and took deep breaths of relief as we flew safely to our new home and planet.
Introducing Sam and Dean, famous TikTok stars that have managed to amass a growing following of 30 million fans. Today, they're going to be joining us and telling us how they're able to climb the TikTok ladder of success. A round of applause, please, as they climb up to the stage.
The loud MC stood up and started clapping. The whole crowd did the same as the arrogant twins bounced onto the stage, refusing to shake raving fans like they were above them and walking to the stage majestically like the whole world was their oyster. I rolled my eyes, irritated.
Change that channel immediately.
My mom commanded. Mom, I'm watching it. Dad came to her rescue.
Didn't you hear your mom? Switch out the television. I can't believe you're watching an interview about boys who got famous through devilish means. Change it to a Christian channel and watch something uplifting.
I reluctantly changed the channel.
You know what? You've had enough screen time for the day. Go to your room and study or pray.
Dad, I've watched TV for less than 10 minutes. He gave me a warning look. Mom. I looked to my mom for help, but she quickly turned away, pretending to be clueless. I retreated to my room, defeated. My parents believed social media was of the devil, so I was only allowed to use a phone that could make and receive calls, text messages, and emails. I was allowed to watch TV once in a blue moon, and even then, my parents always found a way to ruin it. They believed in being the perfect family, and they were sure that exposing me to the outside world would ruin my perfection. And boy, was I perfect. I was the most popular, handsome, and smartest guy in school. But funny enough, I wasn't allowed to date. My parents always made sure that my teeth were sparkling, my clothes and hair were in order, and I was smelling glorious before I was ever allowed to step out of the house. I exercised frequently and was one of the leaders in my football club. I ate healthily, studied, made good grades, and was also active in church. I was perfect. At least that's what everyone said. I obeyed all my parents' instructions to the T, but that was never enough for them. They kept coming up with new ones. What my parents didn't know, though, was that I had a huge secret. A secret that almost everyone in the city knew. I had been keeping it for months, and I planned to keep it till I left their house and gained my freedom. Like and subscribe to find out my secret. I tried to study, but I wasn't in the mood, so I wasn't understanding anything. I closed my textbook. I left my room and peeked around the house. Seeing that my parents had successfully gone to bed, I retreated to my secret hideout. It's my room, duh, what were you thinking? I locked my door, wore my special Mr. Anonymous outfit, switched off the lights, walked into my closet, brought out my secret iPhone, which I had gotten for myself by saving up my monthly allowance and getting paid to do people's homework, set up my tripod and ring light, opened the TikTok app, and clicked the record button. It was a Monday and the beginning of a new week. I smiled and walked gracefully through the school hallway, nodding my head as everyone admired my beautiful face and body like they usually did. I was in high spirits, not because of the constant admiration by my schoolmates, but because of my secret TikTok account that had just hit the 50 million follower mark, higher than the arrogant twins that had been interviewed yesterday. Of course, I had to stay anonymous because of my parents, so this stopped me from accepting interviews from journalists. Nobody could know who I was. As I searched for the books I needed for the day in my locker, I heard everyone oohing, eyeing, and screaming. The only person that ever made the crowd go this wild was me, and I'd passed the hallway already. I was really curious, but decided not to turn. Turning would only make whoever it was feel like I was also admiring them. As I pretended to seriously look for something in my locker, I felt the presence of two guys behind me. I'd never been bullied in my life, and I was always ready to assert my dominance, so I turned around swiftly, ready to beat the sense out of whoever was trying to bully me. To my surprise and horror, it was Sam and Dean, the famous TikTok twins that were on the interview last night. They looked stunning, especially Dean. I had to pretend that I didn't know them. They looked pompous enough already.
Good day, Keen.
Sam said in an alpha voice, trying to intimidate me. He looked at me with a knowing look, expecting me to fall over and start screaming, "Oh my God, it's Sam and Dean!" with my hand on my head and my eyes rolled upwards. I didn't give him the pleasure. "And who might you be?" I asked. I could literally see Sam's smile turn upside down, and Dean started laughing.
I'm Dean, and he's Sam. We're new students, and we're in your... You don't know who we are?
Sam butted in.
That's disappointing. Do you live under a rock? Ignore my brother. We're in your class. We'd like you to hang out with us during lunch and tell us a bit about the school. We could also become friends. You seem like the coolest person available.
Yeah, I'll pass. I picked up my books and walked off. Dean smiled at me, but Sam shot me a murderous look as I walked away. During lunch, I was eating and talking with my friends when Sam and Dean arrived. They told my friends to scoot over so they could sit close to me. My friends happily shifted, honored that the famous twins were sitting close to them. I was so annoyed. I picked up my food tray and left for another table, but the twins followed me there, followed by my friends. God, why won't these people give up? Can I know why you guys are stalking me? Sam shot me an evil look while munching on his bread angrily.
We're having a party at our place tonight. A lot of famous Hollywood celebrities will be there, and we want you to come.
I cleared my tray of food and replied, I don't go to parties. Then I went back to class. It took a few days for Sam to give up, but Dean didn't. He kept following me everywhere until I gave up and started paying attention to him. Once I gave myself a chance to get to know Dean, I realized that although he was really proud, he was also kind, funny, and interesting. He wasn't actually the evil TikTok star that I made him out to be. I was simply unconsciously jealous of him and his brother because our fans always compared our TikTok accounts, wondering who was better than the other. They ignored the fact that I had almost double the size of followers they had and compared me to such riffraffs. I felt they were riffraffs because all they did was follow trends, play pranks on their family members, and show off their handsome faces, while I talked about important pressing world issues like BLM, global warming, climate change, politics, and LGBTQ. Things that my parents never let me talk or have an opinion about since it was none of our business. Somehow, Dean and I became friends. Do you want to come over for dinner? I asked Dean on the phone one day.
Absolutely. Do you think your parents will be okay with that?
I don't know, I'll ask them. I walked to my parents' room after ending the call. Mom, Dad, Dean is coming over tonight. I expected them to object since they object to everything. This was why I made it a statement and not a question. But I was surprised when my mom replied,
Of course, we'd love to spend some time with Dean. We wanted to tell you to invite him over for dinner, but I'm glad you beat us to it.
Huh? How do you know about him?
We know everything about you, my boy. The only reason we've let you hang out with Dean in school this long is because he's also an intelligent kid. Now, go get ready and wear a cool outfit. We have to make a good first impression.
I rolled my eyes as I walked away. Stalkers. When Dean came, my parents didn't allow him to sit down before they started bothering him with questions about everything.
How'd you meet Keen?
How did you guys become friends?
Who are your parents?
What's your highest grade?
What's your lowest grade?
What do you think about the most recent election?
Mom, Dad, can we start eating now? My parents said the prayers, but didn't stop asking Dean questions, even while he was eating. Dean answered everything perfectly well.
Well, we don't like the fact that you're involved in this devilish social media, but almost all kids are nowadays. So we'd let you keep hanging out with our boy as long as you promise not to influence him badly.
Dean smiled.
I promise, ma'am.
Dean and I became best friends. We were inseparable. A day didn't pass without Dean coming to my house, me going to his house, or us talking on the phone. I didn't have a great relationship with his brother Sam, but we tolerated each other. No matter how close I and Dean got, though, I never let it slip that I was Mr. Anonymous on TikTok. It was my best kept secret. One day, there was a BLM protest on the street, and it was being shown on live TV. I shared my displeasure concerning the whole situation, and my parents shocked me.
We're not black, and we can never be black or have black children. We're also all straight in this family, so we need to all mind our own business.
Exactly.
What? How can you guys say that? I stormed into my room, but my parents followed me.
Young man, did you just walk out on us? What is this new behavior?
It seems like that Dean boy is influencing you badly. I want you to end your friendship with him immediately.
I rolled in my bed and shed tears, but I immediately sent a text message telling Dean that we couldn't be friends anymore, subsequently blocking him. Dean tried to get an explanation in school, but I avoided him and became cold towards him again. He eventually gave up and left me alone. One evening, I heard Sam and Dean fighting outside our house when we were about to have dinner. Before I could do anything, my parents invited them in and asked them to join us for dinner. Alarmed, I ran downstairs and got to the dining section, only to see Sam giving me a menacing smile and Dean looking sad, apologetic, and full of shame. I turned to my parents, and to my horror, they were watching my TikTok videos. I could feel the earth shake below my feet.
Sit down, Keen.
My mom told me. I found a seat and joined them at the table.
Is this true? Are you this Mr. Anonymous on TikTok?
I could feel pee dropping on my pants. Yes, I stammered. My parents burst into tears and hugged each other.
Social media isn't that bad after all.
Just by watching a handful of your videos, we have a different view of the world and people in it already. We're proud of you, my boy. We're glad that you've made something good out of this devilish place.
My parents pulled me in for a hug. Disappointed with this result, Sam stormed off.
Let's have dinner,
my dad said as he started praying. I'm not hungry. I ran to my room and Dean chased after me, but I was able to bang the door in his face and lock it before he could run in too.
Ow! You broke my nose, Keen!
Serves you right.
It's bleeding!
Then you need to go to the hospital.
You're really not going to help me?
I rolled my eyes. Fine. I opened the door and Dean immediately sprung in, colliding with me and landing right on top of me. I tried to free myself, but he overpowered me. I looked at his nose and it was perfectly fine. Get off me, you're a liar and backstabber.
Chill, dude, I can explain.
Seeing that his hold on me was too tight, I gave up. Fine, explain. Dean explained that he was watching a Mr. Anonymous TikTok when he recognized both my closet and my watch. He exclaimed out of shock, and unfortunately his brother, Sam, came into his room at that exact moment. Once Sam realized the truth, he ran with Dean's phone to my house, but Dean tried to stop him, and that was why they were fighting outside my house.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I've missed you.
I've missed you too. It's fine, I forgive you. Dean brought his face close to mine and kissed me. I realized how much I'd missed him, and I returned his kiss. Unknown to us, my door was still wide open, and my parents were standing right outside. My mom screamed.
Pack your things immediately and leave my house. You are no longer my son.
Tired of pretending to be someone I wasn't, I packed my things and moved into Dean's house where his parents happily accepted me. I got to know Sam better, and he wasn't even as evil as I imagined, just a jealous maniac. Sam, Dean, and I recorded a few TikToks together and posted on our separate accounts. The videos went viral and gave us more followers. It took a month, but my parents finally came back begging and asking for forgiveness. I forgave them and moved back home. 1 month later, I set up my iPhone, tripod, and ring light in my parents' study. Dean and my parents gathered around. I clicked the record button and we all put a smile on our faces. "Hello everyone," I said for the first time without my Mr. Anonymous mask. "I am Mr. Anonymous. My name is Keen. This is Dean, my boyfriend, and these are my parents." My parents finally accepted me for who I was, and my life took a turn for the better. Have you ever experienced something like this? Share it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and watch another video on our channel.
Are you excited, Luca? I wish I was going with you. I'm going to miss you so much, big brother.
Breathe, Anna. Ugh, my little sister could be so annoying. As if I wasn't already embarrassed by my dad crying in front of my friends. It was the night of my farewell party. In 2 days, I'd be flying to the United States to start college. My dad's former boss, Mr. Warren Campbell, offered to pay for my tuition and give me a job at his restaurant. Dad had worked as his gardener for over 10 years before his bad health forced him to come back home.
Everyone, I'd like to say a few words about my boy Luca and show you something Anna put together.
Dad, you don't have to. I was losing cool points with my friends fast. As I listened to my dad, I wondered what kind of life waited for me on the other side. So far, life hadn't been so kind to me and my family. Mom and Dad struggled to keep us fed and in school. Dad said that we were a humble family. I called it like I saw it. We were poor. Clapping and cheering erupted all around me. I looked up to see what the fuss was all about and nearly choked on my drink. Playing on the TV were videos of me as a child. "Anna, what did you do?" I was furious.
I really worked hard on this. You could at least look happy.
Of course I'm happy. I'm especially happy I'm leaving my annoying little sister behind.
Nice try. We both know you'll miss me.
Actually, I wasn't going to miss Anna. She was part of a life I planned to leave behind. College was going to be a fresh start for me. Having Anna there would suck.
Well, don't leave me hanging.
Huh? What did she want now?
Come on, say it.
Huh?
That you'll miss me, silly.
Oh, sure. The hurt look on her face made me feel guilty, so I hugged her awkwardly.
Oh, don't you two look adorable?
My girlfriend Gina stood watching us with a smile on her face.
Hey, Gina, are you sad that Luca is leaving you? He's not leaving me. We'll talk on the phone every day, right, Luca?
I knew what Anna was doing. A few days ago, she overheard me say that I was going to make new friends and maybe get a new girlfriend. She was trying to get me to tell Gina the truth. Right. You girls talk. I gotta go see if Dad needs help. I took off before Anna said something else. Hours later, the party was finally over, and I said goodbyes to my friends and Gina with promises to keep in touch. I plan to do no such thing.
Yo, Luca, a bunch of us are hitting the clubs later. You coming?
Rob, one of my college buddies, asked. Rob was flashy. He drove expensive cars and dated the hottest girls on campus. Sometimes he'd let me drive, and I'd imagine the cars were mine. I always acted unimpressed whenever he bragged about his latest car or girlfriend. I had to make him think I was used to this kind of lifestyle. You see, Rob had no idea that my parents could barely afford food for me and my siblings. He didn't know that I cleaned Warren's pool and waited tables at his restaurant after class. I don't know, dude. Hitting clubs is getting kind of old. How about a pool party?
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Hey, I've never been to your house. How about you host? I'd love to hang out at the pool I saw on your photos.
I bet you're wondering when or how I got a house with a pool. You last saw me at my farewell party, right? Well, that was months ago. While it was true I now lived in a house with a pool, it didn't belong to me. It belonged to Warren. A few weeks ago, he found me cleaning his pool and he asked if I'd like to live in the guest house by the pool. I couldn't believe my luck. Rob didn't know any of this. I'd told him that my parents used the house whenever they came to the United States for business or on vacation. I don't know, man. My parents are coming this weekend, but we could have the party at the guest house. It's like a cool bachelor pad. Rob looked impressed. A few days later, my phone rang.
Luca, it's me, Dad. I have some good news. Anna got a job.
That's great, Dad. I tried to sound interested.
I need you to look out for her, okay? She arrives tomorrow.
Huh? Dad, what are you talking about? No, please don't say it, please.
I thought your mom told you. Mr. Warren offered Anna a job at his house. Isn't it great?
Great. Was he kidding me? Anna was going to ruin everything. The next day, I stood at the airport waiting for Anna. When she saw me, she practically tackled me to the ground.
Luca, I can't believe I'm here. Oh my God.
Keep your voice down. People are staring. Let's go. I half dragged her to the car I borrowed from Rob.
We're driving in that?
Anna was drooling. It's just a car, Anna. Get in.
Just a car? This is $100,000 car. Where did you even get that kind of money?
You're causing a scene, Anna. Get in or I'm leaving you here.
Geez, all right. I'm sorry I'm such an embarrassment for you.
I can't believe she was pouting after all that drama. Hey, Anna, look, I'm sorry, okay? It's good to see you.
Is everything okay, Luca?
Anna could always tell when something was wrong with me. Anna, there are some things I haven't told my friends.
Things like what?
My friends don't know about our life back home, or what I do here in order to survive. They think that Warren's house is Mom and Dad's. Anna was silent. She looked so sad and disappointed.
You know what, Luca? That's your business. But if you get caught, you're on your own.
Anna taking the high road? Now I'd seen it all. When we arrived at Warren's guest house, Anna disappeared into the room she chose would be her bedroom. I couldn't trust her not to tell Warren what I told her. I picked my phone up and called Rob. I had to cancel the party.
Lucas, sup?
For the last time, my name is Luca. If you can't say it right, then don't say it at all.
Jeez, who peed in your coffee?
It's nothing, sorry. Anyway, I'm calling about Saturday.
Please don't tell me you're canceling. Everyone's so psyched. I even got Holly to agree to come. Haven't you been pining for her all semester?
Dude, I don't pine. He was right, though. I liked Holly, but I hadn't had the courage to ask her out yet. It was either that, or I was still feeling guilty for ignoring Gina's call for more than a month.
Are you canceling on us or not?
Forget I called. See you Saturday. When he said Holly was coming, I knew there was no way I was going to cancel. Anna better not mess this up for me. On the day of the party, Rob arrived early. He found me cleaning the pool.
Don't you have someone for that?
I had to think fast. He's out with the flu. Why are you here anyway? The party doesn't start for another hour.
I thought I'd help set up.
No need. My housekeeper already did that. Truth is, it was Anna who helped.
Housekeeper, huh?
I turned to see Anna holding a tray.
Dude, your housekeeper is smoking hot.
I didn't like the way he was looking at her. I wanted to tell him to stop, but I couldn't. Anna.
Don't.
She put the tray down and walked off. When my friends started to arrive for the party, I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. A lot could go wrong. Anna could tell everyone the truth. Warren could come home early. No, I couldn't think about that. It was too late to cancel anyway. An hour into the party, Holly still hadn't showed up. I was starting to get impatient. You sure she's going to show?
Dude, relax. Look who's here.
I turned, expecting to see Holly, but was surprised to see Anna. I didn't think she'd attend the party after what happened earlier.
Luca, hey, I want you to meet Jordan, my boyfriend.
A guy standing next to her nodded at me.
Hi, man. Cool party.
Since when do you have a boyfriend?
We don't tell each other everything, right?
She was daring me to say something. Right, whatever. Enjoy the party. Nice to meet you, Jaden.
It's Jordan.
I was already walking away. I didn't like the smug look on his face. I'd have to talk to Anna about him later. I was watching Rob embarrass himself trying to impress a girl when something caught my eye. Anna was standing on top of the pool table dancing. Jordan was watching and cheering her on. People were starting to gather around them. What on earth do you think you're doing? Get down from that table now. I ran to the table and grabbed her.
Hey, let her go.
Stay out of this. She's my sister, and you're letting her embarrass me in front of my friends.
Your sister? I thought you said she was your housekeeper.
All eyes were on me. Anna was close to tears. She ran off, and Jordan ran after her.
Luca, what's going on?
Congratulations, you finally said my name right.
I'm not dumb, you know.
Since when did Rob become so sensitive? My head was spinning. I needed to get things under control. Look, guys, I told Rob that Anna was my housekeeper just to mess with him. It's no big deal. Can we go back to enjoying ourselves?
I want you out of here. You're so ungrateful and arrogant.
Everyone turned to look at Jordan. When did he come back? Anna was standing next to him. They were holding hands. You can't kick me out of my home. Are you stupid? Anna, who's this guy? Anna couldn't meet my eyes.
My name is Jordan Campbell.
Campbell? As in Warren Campbell?
Yes, Warren's my dad.
No, please God, no. This can't be happening. I couldn't breathe. My heart was pounding so fast. I fell on a lounge chair and put my head between my knees. Anna knelt next to me and put her hand on my shoulder.
Breathe, Luca, please.
I want you out first thing tomorrow morning. You don't deserve my father's kindness. And leave the clothes you're wearing behind too. Or did you think I wouldn't notice my clothes were missing?
Jordan yelled at me, drawing the attention of my friends. There were a few gasps. Jordan, I can explain. Please don't kick me out.
Save it. I've already seen enough. Everyone, please leave.
My guests hurriedly collected their stuff and left, giving me disgusted looks. How did I let things go this far? Not only was I about to be homeless, I may have lost my friends and Anna too.
Dude, I'm sorry. I should have told you who he was.
You knew I was lying this whole time?
Well, not at first, but then your mom...
My mom? How do you know my mom?
She's my parents' housekeeper. She's a lovely woman. Anyway, when you came to the USA, she was so happy. She told me that her son would be joining my college. She showed me your photo. She's proud of you, man. Why don't you ever call or see her?
I didn't know you. I didn't know she...
He didn't want people knowing that his family was...
You can say it. We're poor, okay? I just wanted to know what it feels like to be rich. I'm so sorry. Anna hugged me as Jordan watched us. I couldn't face him. I'll get my things out tomorrow. Please don't kick Anna out. I stood up and left. I couldn't look at their disappointed faces any longer. Hours later, my phone rang. I had a massive headache. I just finished packing. Anna hadn't come in yet. She was probably hanging out with Jordan. This is Luca.
Oh, my boy. Rob told me what happened. Are you okay?
It was my mom. Guilt overwhelmed me. I'd been in the United States for close to a year, and I never bothered calling her or asked to see her. How was she not mad at me? Mom, I'm so sorry. I messed everything up. She told me she was on her way. I wasn't sure I could handle seeing her again. When she arrived, Anna was present too. After a tearful reunion, Mom told me that someone wanted to talk to me. I went outside to find Rob sitting in his car. Hey, thanks for driving, Mom.
No problem. She's like a mom to me. So I was thinking, how about you come live with me? You could see your mom every day, unless you don't want that.
With the way I had been acting, I didn't blame him for thinking that. I'm ashamed of the way I behaved. Are you sure you want me living with you? I was thinking of going to the college dorms.
We all make mistakes. Yes, I'm sure. So what do you say?
Rob, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
Is that a yes?
Of course. The next day, I moved out of the guest house. Anna helped. She told me that Jordan had told his dad everything.
Warren is so angry. Luca, you might lose your job.
I don't know what I'll do if he fires me. He didn't. My dad managed to convince him to let me keep working for him. He did give me an hour-long lecture, though. Fun times. 2 months later, I walked into the house I shared with Rob and nearly had a heart attack.
Surprise!
What's going on?
We threw you a surprise birthday party, silly.
I stared at Anna, standing next to Mom and Rob. Some guys from class were there too, and guess who else was there? Gina. Gina, when did you get here? I asked as I scooped her up in my arms.
Today, morning. Happy birthday, Luca. Aren't you happy Holly never showed up at that party? Who's Holly?
Anna. Everyone laughed as they watched me chase my sister around the room, around the room, around the room, around the room, around the